Good morning. It is May 22nd, 2014. It's a Thursday, about a half hour before the market opens. And I started my video yesterday talking about TLT, how it was bumping up against this long-term trend line. It dropped 0.6%, was actually down further than that when the Fed minutes came out yesterday before rebounding. And you see this plunge down there on the Fed minutes. Rebounding. Pre-market, we're up, I don't know, about 12, 13 cents, something like that. Some job numbers came out. Who cares about jobs these days? Actually, TLT's at about... it's about 12 cents higher. So anyway, if you look from a long-term perspective, I think this is just the start of a pullback. And you see we hit that perfectly, that long-term trend line. We're pulling back. Now that's something to watch here. If you can see this trend line, if I could draw it here, is something to watch. We need to break through this to get the continuation to the downside, where I think we're going to get down to this 105, 104 level. To the bottom of the channel. And if you look from the 5-year perspective, this is the channel I'm talking about here. And a move down, as we saw the last two times, it's bumped up against this long-term resistance line. So that's TLT. I'm actually in the 103.50s I bought earlier this week and some on Friday of last week. So those are looking pretty good. I locked some in yesterday. So I'm looking for a continuation. In spite of the little pump up we're getting this morning, and another chart I brought up yesterday, QQQ. Everybody's talking about this head and shoulders pattern. This would be a left shoulder, head, right shoulder that we're forming, or were forming, that we're slowly breaking out of. Maybe that formation's got scoliosis or something. I'm not making fun of it, but yeah, it could be a little crooked. You never know. But if you look from a long-term 5-year perspective, yeah, we're doing pretty good here for this marketplace. And you see each time we kind of pull back, we consolidate and just ramp to new highs. And that's what just recently happened. Technology stocks were getting hammered at the start of April, end of March. And we broke through this broadening descending wedge. So, yeah, it looks pretty good. Here's the 5-year weekly chart. Look at that candle break to the upside, pretty much confirming this, and that we're going to head to new multi-year highs, and the SPY is going to head to record levels. But, what do I know? Let's move on to some earnings reports. We actually, earnings report this morning from Dollar Tree. I talked about this yesterday. I thought there was a good chance it could head back to this trend line support here, and this morning is actually up about 5-6%. Last earnings report, you can see what it did. It was the last time the stock was up at this level. You see, it was almost 57.50 before it pulled back. So you got another earnings report, could put in another lower high, which would be perfect, put a trend line across, and that would imply weakness longer term, but we'll see. Today, just move on. And also Best Buy reported earnings is down about $1. Reporting this chart as well, bumping up against long-term trend line resistance. And I was looking for a move to the downside, but I don't know if it's going to really make you too much money if you got into the options. But after the bell today, we have a really interesting one. Hewlett-Packard, which has been just on a tear, and I really don't know where it's headed. This could be a consolidation, and the earnings report could spike it up to $40. But it'll be, to me, I'm going to enjoy seeing where the stock heads post earnings, because I have no clue. I mean, it could plummet down to 27.50, or it could rocket to 40, or it could just stay flat. I'm just so giddy. I'm so interested, but I'm not going to trade it because I have no idea where it's headed. I don't even know if it's going to make a big enough move for me to warrant going both puts and calls, or straddle or strangle. So I'm just going to sit and watch. Get my popcorn. Marvell reports earnings, and I'm thinking possibly getting some calls here. To me, it looks like, and you look from a 5-year weekly chart perspective, we rocketed higher from the $7.50 level, acting as support, broke out of this long-term wedge. And now we've been consolidating. So I could easily see a move up to 17. It would be a $1.50 move, which would be about a 10% move to the upside. That'll make you some money if you buy the call contract. So see, I'm going to possibly looking to get in some of those Roth stores, trying to break above this trend line. We'll see earnings reports after the bell. To me, looks like it's going to head lower. And also we have GME, GameStop, which is the last earnings report fell and then rocketed higher, and a massive 7-day short squeeze lifted the stock to $45. Here it was yesterday when we had everything kind of lifted as the market rallied. Yeah, we could see the exact inverse of what we had the last earnings report. We could see that squeeze and then the dump, and I think ultimately get down to this $30 level. But it's going to take some time. And then before the bell tomorrow, we have Foot Locker, which is in this channel. Either going to head up to the top of it, but ultimately it's probably going to head back to down to the bottom of it at some point. We was down 0.5%. Something I'll just be watching. I'm not going to be trading. Some trades I'm looking to get into. Yeah, I know. Twitter, I was wrong about this after the lockup, but Twitter looks like it's kind of bottoming out. See how the volume's slowing down here after the plunge to record lows. And I'll be looking to get some calls in this name today. I just looking at the late day action to get it up into positive almost into positive territory. Right now it's flat at the open, 31.75. Maybe we'll get a little bit of pullback. Let's see if we're overbought here. Yeah, we are. We're a little overbought short term, so probably wait for that to get resolved before getting to some call contracts at maybe the middle of today's session and into tomorrow. DDD, as I pointed out, doing very nicely. So look at this. We finally started to hold gains here. See, we've come up against that 51 level and got rejected each time. Right now, we're over the 51 level, and DDD looks really buoyant here, as is FEY, which is up. That lockup expired, and look at this. Just beautiful action here. Consolidation, and I would expect it to bing to the upside. I love the financials here. The financials rallied sharply yesterday. Goldman Sachs up 2%. I love this one over 160. I also like JP Morgan Chase. Beating down financials. I posted this chart this weekend. FAS and FAS, XLF. If you look from a long-term perspective here, the trend line support is held, and we can look for higher prices on the financials and the financial ETFs. All right, and finally Amazon. I'm in the calls to 307.50s. This looks like a great trade for upside to 325. Whether or not it happens today and tomorrow, I hope it does, is another question entirely that I do not have the answer for. But just looking at the market, this the S&P 500 ETF. We were in this channel at the end of 2013 into 2014. We bounced out of it. We moved into another channel. We're consolidating. And really, the last couple months has been very difficult trading out of the money stock options because you've got these swings every day. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And if you look from a shorter term perspective, we need to break above the 189, which we did. We're right there. We get above this level. We move up. This is the record level we hit just recently on the SPY ETF, the spiders. And we get up. We're gonna get into another channel. And that channel is going to be preceded by what we had each of the last couple channels, a spike to the upside. We're going to spike to the high, then consolidate. So what I'd expect is a spike up to about 192, 193, maybe even 194, and then we're going to get the same type of consolidation. Everybody thinks that looming crash is going to come, but we'll see. As long as everybody keeps thinking that crash is coming, I think that's why we're going to just keep defying everybody. All right, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. Hope everyone has a great, fabulous trading day. I'll see you in the chat room. Some trades I'm looking at Twitter, possibly some Marvell calls. Still got my TLT puts. I got JP Morgan Chase calls, Goldman Sachs calls. I love the financials here, and I think I did a little wisecrack twit on Twitter. The fact that financials, you never see financials spike and then the market crash, right? Usually financials, you hear about talking heads on TV talking all the time about how financials lead the marketplace. So, to see JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and the financial ETFs doing well, that bodes well for the marketplace, and they've been beaten down. They come back, the momentum stocks start coming back. Facebook was upgraded this morning. We're looking at new record levels. All right, everyone have a great trading day. Goodbye.